Welcome to SGL Spiritual Guided Light. I am spiritually guided light, and this is your general entrepreneur reading. So we had a hiccup. Moving forward, your masculine energy is the lovers in reverse, and your feminine energy is the five of voices. Now, the interpretation to this is falling out of love. In passion and trying to get back into the upright, into being back in love and engaging, finding that first beginner creator space, right, of whatever that is. You have to fill in the blank. Also, another way in pertaining to this had to do with an actual relationship that ended, and within that process, that your passion was shared in that relationship, and that's what caused the damage of the true essence of you being in love and sinking in one with your passion. Moving into the feminine energy is willing to be acceptance, willing to learn. All, for instance, being open to learn new techniques pertaining to your passion, whatever that may be. Okay, this could be public speaking, this can be in arts, this can be in writing. You have to fill in the blank. Okay, and uh, confirming and with detail, we have the Six of Cups, uh, confirming pertaining to innocence of this was not self-sabotage intentional. This is more so event of that could have occurred, right, causing uh, the motion of walking away, and now it's being willing to come back and find that place, because that's where true essence of happiness was. So we have, you may be reminiscing about your childhood or thinking about someone from your past. This is a card of children and can represent working with children, splenticity, playfulness, innocence, protection in the family. Take the support available to you from family or close ones. It also, instead of it being an ex, right, or a toxic relationship, it could also represent friends or family as well. Okay, this could be the introduction of tapping into your inner child again, doing hobbies of things that you enjoyed as a child. Your divine guidance listener is Gypsy. Okay, blame it on the Gypsy soul. Your universal love of extension is the yes, confirming acceptance, but being excited about this willingly and openly. And it might seem impossible, but now is the time to receive. There is much abundance waiting for you, but the form it will take is up to you. Be open to every good thing, knowing that you will know the best thing when it comes. Your emotion and action is happy and solemn. Okay, be formal and dignified in this transformation. You have four in this journey of becoming one with your passion. You have four affirmations. The first one is, my love life is just beginning, and my life is just beginning. We have everything. Second affirmation, everything that is happening now is happening for my ultimate good. Your third affirmation, my body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, my soul is tranquil. Your fourth affirmation, my ability to conquer my challenges limitless, my potential to succeed. Confirming all of your affirmations, we have the moon. Okay, making sure that uh, be sure not to be confused about um, your passion. The guidance would be, if you're open in acceptance to learning ways to be able to adapt with change, I would definitely get services from people that was a new connection. I wouldn't go backwards and entertain people, places, or people within places that serve you no good, that has caused you from the first place to come in rejecting your talents and things like that, bringing in insecurities, self-sabotage, etc., etc. Also, in pertaining to your side note, the guilt and eerie, whether this is you or receiving that eerie and guilt, okay, or that guilt is being placed on you and it's on a receiving end and it's causing insecurities, okay? So the moon is telling you that the things may not be as they seem. Trust your instincts to see past these illusions. You may also be experiencing mood swings, dormant insecurities, or instabilities. If you are waiting for an answer, then be prepared for it. Make sure you stay informal and dignified, and also that can also be a trigger too. Most people who are informal can come off as insecure, and they can try to trigger you into rage and anger, right? That's called getting out of character, okay? Entertaining child behavior. So don't confuse of trying to tap back into your inner child and end up entertaining dysfunctional inner child, right? In people, and then they place those insecurities on you. Okay, moving out of confusion, right? Taking the risk, right? Taking the risk of what people are intimidated and afraid to. So we are at the Three of Pentacles. Everything is coming together as the Three of Pentacles is indicating, you may be seeing success as part of a team. Don't ignore the talents of others around you. Continue to collaborate to get the last push towards your final goal. Okay. And I'm going to definitely give you a bonus listener. The reason why, because right now I have time at the essence, so I'm going to go ahead and shine some light. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause this reading and I'm just going to come right back. That's what I'm going to do, because I do not want to sever. I can't say the word. It's there. I don't want to sabotage. Okay, so I'm just going to take a pause and I will be back. Until then, don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you. Okay. And we're back, entrepreneurs, listeners. This is a general entrepreneur reading. So now we're going to go ahead and continue here. I'm still getting used to how to utilize this platform and pertaining to functions and things like that. And I forget that it does give you the option, instead of having to start all over again, you can pause and come back. So for some of you whom are trying to start your podcast, or you've been thinking about starting your podcast, and you fill in the blank of whatever that is, Anchor is definitely a good platform that is really simple and easy to use. Moving forward, let's go ahead and throw some Rebel on your journal. The reason why is because we have this guilt and eerie energy, and every day, every hour, every minute, energies can shift. Okay, so we have they broke your heart in the midst of don't drop the ego. This is really coming up lately, especially during the summertime. You get a lot of ego trips, you know, um, and when people come back down and get off the horse, right, and reground themselves, either they've lost themselves or they've gained themselves because you can either, if you're gaining yourself, is because you got to gain the experience to be around people who with high ego, right, and you were able to drop down notes and establish your own self endowment and promise that of your aspects of that you don't want to impart in yourself, as well as departing from such kind. But if they're investors that have high egos, you have to learn to sever and not have your emotions in the cup. Okay. And it says you are being shady. This can be how someone is looking at you. Okay. This normally stems from an idea, right? An idea that you or someone else could have stirred up, and then you started talking amongst other people or with the person, right on, yeah, and then it becomes a multiple idea. It's no longer your idea because it was to being discussed. And this is more so, out of character, takers, because of your wild heart. And you have to understand that by law, takers have there is a term, right? It's no different from living by the sword and dying by the sword. Takers have a term. Okay. So never not put yourself in salvage and cause blockage of you saying, why is it not happening to me? If you have said that, forgive self because you're unaware. That's the thing of not being aware. But when you are aware, when it comes to commanding and directing, right? Witnessing. Give me a little for the Six of Cups. The Sixth Cup, right? Which means to me 6 offers individually. It's no difference from Goldilocks. Basically, each cup, you're at the 6th cup. Is it to your liking, or is it just the beginning? Are you kind? Were you kind when you were offered the 6th cup? Get after that. The world has your back. Confirming protection. The 6th cup that thy drinketh for protection. The solemnly swear of the anointed cup. The overflow. And that's the thing that you have to understand, that when you accept a protection that overruns it, it means that the well can become dry. You can literally, if it is a well of infinite, right? Bear with me, listener. If this isn't a well of infinite, and it is an abundant flow of protection, okay? And you're the only one that has been offered this cup, and you know exactly how to access and to fill your cup, right? And because you have a wild heart, you show people where this well is that is infinite of protection. And because you were not aware of the type of people you were bringing to this world, their energies deteriorated the well to where this infinite well of just became a well that became dry. So those who came and contaminated this infinite protection of protection, right? Now the well is dry because you fill in the blank, invited those who take and have nothing to lose. All they know is to take. It's no different, if we have any rebels in here, it's no different from a street rat who gets off on home invasions, but really doesn't care anything about possession. Just the fact of scaring another human being, getting the satisfaction. Okay? So these takers intentionally, motive was to take all of the infinite energy and turn it into a well. But let me tell you about the power within. Bringing the lovers upright and falling in love with self and gaining your power back and knowing who you are. See, takers know who they are. And they do have free will, right? To depart from taking and then teaching those who are borderline willing to transform their lives for the better good, right? That's where the guilt and eerie, your audience, those takers are angry because some people are bound, right? There's a difference from the having free will to make a contract. Ego trip cause the illusion, right? So choose wisely. Moving forward, let's go ahead and entrepreneurship, you have your days, you have your choice to accept how that day should accumulate your energy and where to place it, when to give it, because if you notice, there's more takers of energy than anything. There's more ego, there's more of the illusion of fake illustration based off of materialism. All right, entrepreneur. We have fun and easy. Enjoy your passion. Live in your passion. Learn in your passion, especially if you're collaborating with other people. Have fun. We have a newsletter. We recall your regular clients and customers. Keep them in the loop. content creation. That's that collaboration I was discussing. And then we have photo shoot in reverse. Before going into the photo shoot, you want to create the content so you can have direction. What is the message? What are you trying to portray? What is the news you're trying to deliver? And this can be pertaining to your company or companies, health supplements. Got a big idea. Remember to consume enough vitamins and minerals. I accept that one. Inspiration. When you do get into that place of imagery, make sure that all your images line up with the inspiration through the content that you put in order. Okay. We have learning. For those of you who are saying, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, but my budget, I don't have a budget right now to be able to have someone else do it. Well, you're going to have to take out the time and get as much material information that can help you with some ideas for your creative content process, right? Then we have develop a new skill. That's confirming, being willing and accepting to learn independently. Shipping and handling. In balancing with the newsletter. Make sure your good deeds are not evil spoken of, even though we cannot prevent. Remember how the beginning of this we were talking about the takers, okay? Organize, okay? Prioritize those who mean you good, and those who are just, riding coattail, don't feel guilty about putting them way in the back end. For the most part, just closing the door. Okay, product development, yes. Handle your creations. We have purpose. Find out what energizes you. Remember with the supplements. Look at the truth which refuses to go away. Accept your God-given gifts and help. Purpose. Make sure that your content creation aligns with your purpose, which will demonstrate the inspiration. All right, let's get some direction pertaining to this purpose. We're 15 minutes in. Thank you so much for tuning in to SGL, Spiritual Guided Light. We have the 9 of Swords, okay? Fear. Fear of stepping out into your purpose because of the naysayers and the takers, right? Those experiences. And then going into looking ahead, willing to say no, understanding that those type of energies, that's all they know. So even if you step into your passion, right, and you're open, you've now come to realize those types of energies are going to be there, but you have control whether you want to let them in or just let them watch. Okay? And there's your rapid growth. Moving into the moon, we have the 2 of Wands, making the decision and having progress. have the Three of Cups in between the Three of Pentacles. Friendship, community, support, celebration, right? You fill in the blank, removing that guilty and that eerie, and having that support. And those people, those low energies that were watching, that's all they can do. Now they're in the nosebleed seats. They can no longer be that close. You stood your ground, you kept your boundaries, you kept your focus, you kept your purpose, you showed the inspiration, you delivered the content. Moving forward from the Three of Pentacles, we have the Hermit. Silence, right? Going within, intro perspective. Overall of the Seven of Wands, that cup of protection, the infinite wealth. You fill in the blank. Are you going to keep your infinite wealth safe? Or are you going to expose it, allowing it to be damaged and no longer infinite? No longer will it be able to supply you because you allowed the takers to take into the well ran dry. Oh, all right, let's shed some light. And before we do that, let's shed some light. Listener, for those of you who are not tuning in to SGL, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Night on the Entrepreneur. We have take time to breathe. Your dreams need a practical plan. That is that content creation. That's that purpose. That's the inspiration. Accept your ideas. Work through your fears. Flawed. A time to give rather than to take. That is so beautiful. Now let's go ahead and shed some light on you. The bottom, working your way up. What lights you up? Starseed. Where are you being called to journey to? For some of you listeners. All right. We have protection in reverse. Yes, confirming the infinite wealth. Many are called, few are chosen. You are the infinite wealth. Oh, that's beautiful. An entrepreneur. The infinite wealth. Let me go ahead and give you a co-create on this one. Okay. Co-create your most beautiful, meaningful manifestation, listener. A powerful move. Roots of abundance. Do you believe that you are an infinite wealth? Not will. Well. We have the power of purpose. If you have any questions or feedback, make sure you email spiritualguidedlight@gmail.com. The discipline and will to evolve are yours by nature. This process doesn't have to be a struggle. You cannot fail if you immerse yourself fully in what is in front of you now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You never have to seek your purpose or wonder what it is. Just keep removing the blocks to your essential self, and your purpose will find you. It's that easy. What a wonderful thing to know. And it's very beautiful. And be solemn about it. Be proud. Don't boast. Don't entertain ego. Enjoy the essence of true happiness. Moving forward, I believe. Did we put some love on you? Let's see here. Entrepreneur. All right. Love for the entrepreneur. We have the unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going. That is confirming the Lovers that was in reverse, right? Yes, it's going to take some effort, energy. And also this can be guilt, giving your power away, knowing you're doing it just to be liked, right? And now you ran dry and you're trying to find it. You can't find it in your inner child. It's so much trauma and damage that the suggestion is, listener, whoever who this is for, to seek professional help. We have love yourself first. Self-respect makes you more attractive. Attraction in reverse. Not this is insecurities of being in an illusion of being an ego for so long, whether this is you or someone else, or this could be how you could be being portrayed as, which is unattractive. But if they're naysayers and if they're bullies in groups, you don't have to worry about it, because it's about where you're going. Okay, remember, they end up in the nosebleed seats, right? They're the ones that say, oh, I used to, right? Remember, old news, after so while, it's irrelevant unless it's history. Okay, so let's go ahead and shine some light on you and move forward. If you have any feedback or questions, email spiritualguidedlight@gmail.com. Get grounded, okay? Remember, I was talking about wild heart, people taking advantage, right? Create them boundaries, right? Connect. And then we'll give you some direction pertaining to grounding. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in stance or touch. It can be grounding your tongue, grounding your eyes, what you see, grounding your hearing. Doesn't always have to be what you touch with your hands, or grounding in your feet. Maybe sight as well. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles. This is definitely a learning experience and moving on. This is one of those moments of seek and you shall find, but be careful what you seek, you just might find it. And then you realize you wish you never knew. It's like this infinite well, you know, wanting to tell everyone about this infinite well. But this infinite well doesn't come with instructions. But only you know how to work the infinite well. And sometimes you have to witness things, right? Because you want to help, but you can't, and you feel guilty. You don't feel guilty about gifts. And that's where that unrequited love comes in. Unrequited relationships that don't even align with your business, product, service. And don't feel guilty by saying no. If you're a wild heart, yes, you're kind. Direct. Denials to email. And simply say if you don't hear a response, then that means you have been placed on the waiting list or however that is. Give them the link. It could take up to 1 to 3 years. If you just know you're just done, just let them know. Well, you would have to reapply. But just to sever that off, just say if you don't hear anything within a year, then that's just a no. Okay? You don't have to bow down, especially when you have access to infinite. Many are called, few are chosen. That is your, oracle card at the top, coming from the bottom up to the top. It says, trust the reading you just got. It's correct. Okay. Don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you, listener. Make sure you follow and subscribe to SGL.